The first thing I saw was my dad's boot kicking my front gate like it owed him money. The second thing I heard was my mom yelling, "Open up right now or we're coming in." And the third thing was the metal bite of a crowbar scraping my porch rail, slow and mean. I stood there with my hand still on the doorknob like my own house had turned into a bad movie I couldn't pause. My heartbeat was loud enough to drown out the street. "Mia," my dad snapped through the door like my name tasted rotten. "You want to do this the hard way? Fine." I cracked the door just a little, chains still on. Cold air rushed in, and so did that familiar smell, my mom's sharp perfume mixed with my dad's cigarettes. It hit me like a memory I didn't ask for. "What do you want?" My voice came out calmer than I felt. My mom's eyes looked me up and down like I was a stranger wearing my skin. "Don't play dumb. We heard you're sitting on a house like you're some kind of queen." My dad leaned in, face tight, jaw working. "Your sister has $185,000 of debt." I blinked. "Okay, and you're gonna sell this place," my mom said like she was ordering at a drive-thru, "and you're gonna pay it." The words didn't even make sense at first. I actually laughed, one quick, shocked sound that died in my throat. "No." My dad's eyes went flat. "Excuse me?" I said no. I held the door harder, knuckles burning. "You disowned me, remember? You told me I wasn't your daughter anymore." My mom's face twitched. "That was different." "Oh, was it?" I tasted iron like I'd bitten my tongue, because it felt pretty final when you threw my boxes on the lawn and told the neighbors I was dead to you. My dad slammed his palm on my door so hard the chain rattled. "We're not here to argue about the past." "The past?" I repeated. "You mean the part where I built a life without you, where I worked 2 jobs and fixed this place up with my own hands?" "That past?" My mom's voice rose, thin and bright. "Your sister made a mistake. She needs help." "She always needs help," I said, "and you always pick her." My dad pointed at my face like I was a problem he could solve by aiming at it. "We are your parents. You will do the right thing." I stared at him. "The right thing for who?" For half a second nobody spoke, just the wind, a car passing, my own breathing shaky and loud. Then my mom's mouth curled. "If you won't do it willingly, we'll make you." I felt my stomach drop. "Make me how?" My dad didn't answer. He stepped back and I saw what he had in his hand, heavy crowbar, paint chipped off the end. My mom had one too, tucked under her arm like an ugly little secret. My skin went cold. "You're not coming in." My dad's smile didn't reach his eyes. "Watch us." I tried to close the door, but the crowbar jammed into the gap. Metal screeched against wood. He shoved hard. The chain snapped like it was made of cheap thread. The door flew open, slamming into the wall. My mom barged past me first, shoulders stiff, chin high. My dad followed, crowbar swinging low like he was walking a dog. "Get out," I said, backing up fast. "Get out of my house." My mom spun on me. "Your house?" She laughed like that was the funniest thing she'd heard all year. "Honey, everything you have came from us." "No," I said, "it didn't." My dad walked into my living room and looked around like he was judging a hotel. His eyes landed on the fresh paint, the new light fixture, the clean hardwood I'd refinished myself. Something dark shifted in his face. "So you do have money," he muttered, and then he lifted the crowbar and brought it down on my coffee table. The crack was sharp and shocking, like a gunshot made of wood. Splinters jumped. My mom gasped, then smiled, like she liked the sound. "What are you doing?" I yelled, voice breaking. "Collecting," my dad said, and swung again, this time at the framed photo on my wall. Glass exploded onto the floor like icy rain. My mom moved through the room like she was on a mission, crowbar tapping against things, picking targets. She knocked over my lamp. She jammed the metal edge into the drywall and ripped a jagged hole, peeling paint like skin. I stood there frozen, throat tight, ears ringing. It was so unreal that my brain kept trying to deny it, like if I blinked it would stop, but it didn't stop. My dad ripped open a cabinet. My mom yanked a shelf down. The house filled with dust and that raw, torn wood smell. My hands shook so hard I couldn't even grab my phone right, and the whole time my mom kept talking like this was normal. "You'll learn," she said, breathing hard. "You don't say no to family." My dad leaned close, eyes wild and satisfied. "You're gonna sell, you're gonna pay your sister, or we'll keep coming back." My mouth opened, and then I closed it again because the truth sat behind my teeth like a blade. I had sold it. The ink was already dry. The keys were already promised. This place wasn't mine anymore, not really, not as of 3 days ago. And right then, over the crunch of broken glass, my phone buzzed in my pocket with one short message that made my blood turn to ice. Buyer's final walkthrough is in 12 minutes. My pocket buzzed again like my phone was trying to warn me twice. I slid it out and saw the same thing, final walkthrough, 12 minutes. My chest tightened. If the buyer saw this damage, the deal could blow up right on my living room floor. Behind me, my dad swung the crowbar again. Wood popped. My mom laughed under her breath like she was tasting victory. I forced my voice steady. Stop. Just stop for a second. My dad didn't even look at me. You want to cooperate now? No, I said. I want to talk like grown people. I held up both hands, palms out. You got your point across. Congrats. My mom's eyes narrowed. Don't get smart. I swallowed hard and pointed toward the front window. You hear that? They paused. For half a beat, the house went quiet except for the hiss of the heater and the tick of glass settling on the floor. What? My dad said. Car doors, I lied. I told you someone's coming, not a friend, not a neighbor, a walkthrough like right now. My mom's face twitched. A what? A buyer, I said, letting the word hit like a brick. A buyer who's bringing people. If they see you in here with crowbars, it's gonna get ugly. My dad finally turned and stared at me. Buyer for what? I kept my expression blank, even though my heart was trying to claw out of my ribs. For the house? My mom's mouth opened, then shut. You're lying. I'm not, I said, and if you want to get what you came for, you need to stop smashing stuff and leave, right now. My dad's eyes flicked to the hallway, then back to me. He didn't look scared, he looked annoyed, like reality had interrupted his fun. You don't have buyers, he said. You don't have money. I almost laughed again, not because it was funny, because it was insane. They disowned me, ignored me for years, then showed up acting like I was still their personal piggy bank. The truth was, this house wasn't just a house to me, it was proof I could survive them. I'd bought it cheap back when the fence leaned like a tired old man and the kitchen smelled like mildew and broken dreams. The first night I slept here, the pipes banged so loud I sat up with a butter knife in my hand, thinking someone was inside. But I stayed. I learned how to patch holes, how to sand floors, how to cut tile without cracking it. I watched videos late at night, hands aching, hair tied up, paint on my jeans. I'd come home from work with my feet throbbing, then crawl under the sink to fix a leak because if I didn't do it, nobody would. And every time I wanted to quit, I'd remember my mom's voice the day they cut me off. Pack your things, she'd said, standing in the doorway like I was dirt on her shoes. If you don't help your sister, you're not welcome here. I'd stared at her. She drained my savings. She maxed out a card in my name. How am I supposed to help her again? My dad stepped forward, eyes hard. Family comes first. Funny, I'd said, because it feels like she comes first. That was the moment my mom's face went cold. Then you're done? And just like that, I was out. No hugs, no be safe, just a slammed door and silence. So yeah, this place mattered. And 3 days ago, I'd sold it because I was tired of living with one eye over my shoulder. I wanted a clean break, a new start, a new address they didn't know. Only now my clean break was happening in a living room full of broken glass. Back in the present, my dad took 2 slow steps toward me. Show me? Show you what? I asked. Proof, he said. You said buyer, you said walkthrough, show me. My phone felt slick in my hand, my brain raced. If I showed him the message, he'd know I wasn't bluffing. If he knew that, he might double down, or worse, he might wait and ambush the buyer, so I did the only thing I could. I gave him a half-truth. I'll show you after you step outside, I said. I'm not playing. If they pull up and see you, the whole thing goes sideways, and then you get nothing. My mom scoffed, but her eyes kept darting to the front yard like she was suddenly aware of time. My dad stared at me for a long moment. Then he pointed the crowbar at my face like a warning. If you're lying, Mia, you'll regret it. I already regret a lot, I said quietly, just not that. He motioned toward the door. Fine, we'll wait outside 10 minutes. Then you show me the paperwork. My pulse spiked. 10 minutes, that was almost the walkthrough time. They stepped out onto the porch, still holding those crowbars like trophies. My mom leaned close to my dad, whispering fast. I couldn't hear her words, but I could read her mouth. She's hiding something. The second the door closed, I moved. I didn't cry, I didn't freeze. I grabbed a trash bag, started scooping glass, and my hands shook so hard I cut my finger and didn't even feel it. Because in my head, one thought kept flashing, bright and sharp. If they find out I sold this house, they'll stop asking. They'll start taking. I shoved the broken frame and splintered wood into a corner like I could hide the mess by not looking at it. My finger was bleeding, warm and slippery, but I didn't stop. I just wrapped it with a paper towel and kept moving, breath coming quick. Outside, my parents paced on the porch like they owned the air. "You're stalling," my dad barked through the door. "I'm not," I called back. "I'm getting the paperwork." That was a lie. The paperwork was locked in my glove box, and even if I had it in my hand, I wasn't letting them read a single line. Not yet. I peeked through the blinds. My mom stood with her crowbar resting against her thigh like a purse. My dad kept tapping his crowbar against the porch post, tap, 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 like he was counting down. Then my phone buzzed again. "Jules, realtor, 10 min out, buyers with me, everything okay?" I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. My throat felt tight like I was swallowing sand. I typed fast, "Not okay, house got hit, need a save." My hands shook, but I forced myself to think like a person who wanted to survive the next 10 minutes. First tell, my dad didn't just show up mad, he showed up prepared. Second tell, my mom brought a crowbar too. That wasn't emotion, that was a plan. Third tell, they didn't ask if I was okay. They went straight to money, straight to my sister. My sister, I hadn't even said her name out loud, but I could feel her fingerprints on this whole mess like greasy smudges. Years ago, she used to do this thing where she'd cause a fire, then stand back with wide eyes like she couldn't believe smoke existed. Then she'd cry, and my parents would run to her like she was the only person in the room. And I'd be the problem for noticing. I bent down to pick up glass, and that raw, dusty smell filled my nose. My living room looked like a storm had gone off inside it. The ripped drywall showed yellow insulation like guts. My stomach rolled. "Baby," my mom sang out suddenly, too sweet, "just open up, we can talk." I almost laughed. She only used that voice when she wanted something. I moved to the hall closet and pulled out my small toolbox. Not because I thought I could fix this, just because holding something solid kept my hands from shaking apart. Then I remembered, the doorbell camera. I'd installed it last year after a random car kept slowing down near my place. I told myself I was being paranoid, but the truth was I'd been waiting for my family to find me again. I opened the app with a trembling thumb, and there it was, my dad's face, up close, clear, angry. My mom behind him, eyes hard, crowbar in hand. Then the door flying open. Then my dad swinging. Then my mom tearing into the wall like she hated the house for protecting me. My blood went cold, so it wasn't just in my head. It wasn't misunderstanding. It wasn't "we didn't mean it like that." It was real, it was recorded, it was ugly. I took a screenshot, then another. I saved the clip. I made sure it backed up. My phone buzzed again. Jules were pulling up. 2 minutes. My heart slammed so hard it hurt. I looked around and realized something else, another little tell. The realtor lockbox that had been clipped to my railing for weeks was gone. My mouth went dry. That lockbox held the key for showings. Only Jules and I should have had the code. I stepped onto the porch and looked down the steps, and there it was, tossed in the grass like trash. The plastic was cracked. The metal latch was bent. My dad followed my eyes and smiled like he'd just won a prize. "You really thought you could hide anything from us?" he said. My mom leaned close, voice low and nasty. "We don't need your permission to take what's ours." "It's not yours," I said, and my voice came out sharp like a snap. My dad moved closer. "Then prove it. Show me the deed, show me the sale. Show me whatever little fantasy you're living in." Behind them, a car turned onto my street. My street, Jules' car, the buyer. I felt my whole body tense like a wire pulled too tight. "Back up," I told my parents, stepping forward. "Get off the porch." My mom laughed. "Or what?" I didn't answer her. I didn't have time. Jules' car rolled closer, and I saw the buyer in the passenger seat looking out the window at my house like he was trying to picture his life in it. Then his eyes landed on my dad's crowbar. His face changed fast. Jules slammed the brakes at the curb. She got out, eyes wide, taking in the damage through the window, the broken lockbox on the grass, my parents on my porch like a pair of bad ghosts. "What the hell is going on?" she demanded. My dad spread his arms like he was innocent. "Family talk." Jules looked at me. "Mia." Before I could answer, my phone rang. My sister's name flashed on the screen, and the second I saw it, I knew she'd been in this the whole time. I hit speaker without thinking. My sister's voice came through, light and fake sweet. "Hey," she said like we were buddies. "So did they tell you about the debt? Because you're gonna handle that, right? Mom said you always act tough until you're scared." My stomach dropped. Jules heard every word, the buyer heard every word, and my parents, they went perfectly still. For a second, nobody moved. The air felt thick, like the whole porch was holding its breath. Then my mom snapped out of it first. She put on her good lady face so fast it almost scared me. "Oh my gosh," she said, clutching her chest like she was the one in danger. "Sir, I'm so sorry you had to see this. Our daughter has episodes." Jules' eyes got sharp. "Episodes?" My dad nodded like he'd been waiting to use that word. "Yeah, she gets worked up, starts breaking things, then blames us." I stared at him, my stomach turned cold. "You broke my table," I said, my voice came out flat. "You broke my wall." My mom shook her head slow and sad like I was 5 years old telling a silly lie. "Honey, stop, you're embarrassing yourself." The buyer, Evan, I heard Jules call him, took one step back from my porch. He looked at the crowbars, then at the smashed living room behind me, then at my face. "Ma'am," Evan said to my mom, "why are you holding that?" My mom glanced down like she'd forgotten she had it. Then she smiled and lifted it a little. "Oh, we were just helping with repairs." "Repairs," I repeated. My dad jumped in too quick. "Old house stuff, you know how it is." "We came by because she called us." I let out one short laugh, bitter. "I called you, you disowned me." My mom's eyes flashed, but her voice stayed sweet. "We never disowned you, we've always loved you. You just run away when things get real." Jules turned to me, low voice. "Mia, did you invite them?" "No," I said. "They forced the door, they smashed my place." My dad waved a hand like I was being dramatic. "Door was already loose." "It was not," I shot back. My mom pointed at the broken lockbox in the grass like it was proof I was the problem. "See, she's been hiding keys, lying to people, that's what she does." Jules' face tightened. "That lockbox was mine, why is it broken?" My dad shrugged. "It fell." "It didn't fall," I said. "You threw it." My mom sighed loudly like she was tired of my attitude. Then she leaned toward Jules and lowered her voice on purpose so I could still hear. "I'm sorry," she said. "We're trying to get her help. She gets paranoid, thinks everyone's out to get her." My ears burned. My palms went sweaty. That was their favorite trick. Make me look unstable so nobody listened when I told the truth. Evan cleared his throat, uneasy. "I don't feel comfortable doing a walkthrough with all this." Jules lifted a hand. "Give me 2 minutes." "Please?" She stepped closer to me, blocking my parents from Evan's view like a shield. "Do you have any proof?" she whispered. My thumb slid over my phone without thinking. I opened the doorbell app. "I have video," I said. Jules' eyes widened. "Show me." I turned the screen so only she could see. The clip started with my dad's boot on the gate, then my mom's voice, "Open up right now," then the crowbar biting my door, then the chain snapping. Then the first swing. Jules sucked in a breath like she'd been punched. "Oh my God," she muttered. My mom's head snapped toward us. "What are you showing her?" "Nothing," I said, too fast. My dad stepped forward, eyes narrowing. "Hand me that phone." "No," I said. He took another step. The crowbar tapped the porch once, clink, and my whole body went on alert. Jules put herself between us. "Sir, back up." My dad laughed like she was cute. "This is family business." Jules didn't blink. "Not anymore. This is my listing, my client and my buyer. Back up." My mom's face twisted. "Listen to her, Mia. She doesn't care about you." "She cares about money." I stared right at my mom. "So do you." That's when my sister's voice came back through my phone, still on speaker, still live. "Hello," she said, louder now. "Are you there? Because I'm not playing." "I need that money, Mia." My mom flinched like she'd forgotten the call was on. Jules snapped her head to my phone. Evan heard it too. He took another step back, jaw tight. I swallowed and forced my voice calm. "Say your name." "What?" my sister said, annoyed. "Say your name," I repeated, "and say what you just said." There was a pause, then a little fake laugh. "Why, so you can record me? You're so weird." My dad's eyes went hard. My mom hissed, "Hang up," like a warning. My sister's tone turned sharp. "Mom told me you'd do this. You always act like a victim." I felt something inside me go still, not sad, not scared, still. Because right then I understood the gaslighting wasn't a side thing, it was the whole plan. Smash my house, pressure me, then call me crazy when I didn't fold. Jules leaned close and whispered, "Mia, we need to get you away from them." Now, Evan spoke up, voice tight. "Jules, I'm not buying into this mess, I'm sorry." Jules raised a hand to him, quick. "Evan, please just wait in the car 2 minutes. Evan hesitated, then turned and walked back down the steps, shaking his head. My dad watched him go, then looked at me with a small, nasty smile. "You just lost your buyer," he said. "Nice job." And that's when my phone buzzed with a new text, one I wasn't expecting, from a number I didn't know. "Mia, it's the title office. Your closing funds clear tomorrow morning." My dad didn't know what that buzz meant, but I did, and for the first time all day I felt something close to a smile. Because now I had a clock, and they had no idea what was about to hit them. Jules grabbed my elbow and pulled me 2 steps down the porch like she was moving me out of the blast zone. "Mia," she whispered fast, "tell me one thing, are you safe tonight?" I swallowed. My mouth was dry. "Not if they keep showing up like this." She nodded once. "Okay. Then we're gonna be smart." Evan was still by the car, arms crossed, face tight. He looked like a guy who just realized he'd walked into somebody else's nightmare. Jules walked over to him with me right behind her. "Evan, I need you to watch something." Evan sighed like he wanted to say no, but he looked at my shaking hands and softened a little. "Fine, quick." I hit play on the doorbell clip. He watched my dad's boot hit the gate. He heard my mom yelling. He saw the crowbar bite my door. The chains snapped. The first swing came down on my table. Evan's jaw clenched so hard I thought his teeth might crack. He looked up at my parents, still standing on my porch with crowbars like they were proud of it. "That's insane," my dad called out loud. "Hey, stop showing lies to strangers." Evan's eyes went cold. "That ain't a lie. That's a video." My mom tried her soft voice again. "Sir, you don't understand." Evan cut her off. "No, you don't understand. I'm not buying a house with people like you popping up." My stomach dropped. "Evan," he raised a hand. "I'm not saying I'm walking. I'm saying I'm not doing this stupid." Jules jumped in, steady. "What do you need to feel comfortable?" Evan pointed at my parents with 2 fingers. "Them gone. And tomorrow, I want this walkthrough with witnesses, not cops, just people, cameras. I don't want to be the only one seeing this mess." Jules nodded like she'd already pictured it. "Done." Then she turned to me. "Mia, listen. You're not going back inside alone tonight. You have anywhere you can stay." I thought about my apartment lease that started next week. I thought about the packed boxes already sitting in my spare room, taped and labeled like a quiet goodbye. "I can stay with a friend," I said. "Good," Jules said, "and we're changing the locks tonight." My dad barked a laugh. "Changing locks on our daughter's house? Go ahead." I looked right at him. "It's not your house." He leaned forward, eyes sharp. "Then show me the paperwork." I took a slow breath. I wanted to scream. I wanted to swing something back, but I didn't. I just let my face go calm. "Tomorrow," I said. "You want answers, you want money, come tomorrow morning." My mom's eyes lit up. "So you are selling?" "I'm doing what I have to do," I said, keeping it vague on purpose. "And I'm not talking about it on the porch." My sister's voice cracked through my phone again, still on speaker, impatient. "So am I getting paid or what?" Jules' eyes flicked to my phone like, "Good, let her keep talking." I lowered my voice, sweet as sugar. "Yeah, Kendra, you're getting handled, just not how you think." "What does that mean?" she snapped. "It means show up tomorrow," I said. "Bring mom and dad." 9 a.m. My mom grabbed onto that time like it was a gift. "We'll be there." My dad pointed his crowbar at me like a promise. "Don't waste my time." "I won't," I said. Evan shook his head, still mad, and looked at Jules. "Text me the plan. I'll bring my brother, he's big, and I'll bring my guy who does security cameras. I want this recorded from every angle." Jules nodded. "Perfect." The second Evan turned away, my mom leaned close to me, voice low and poisonous. "You embarrassed us," she hissed. "Tomorrow you make it right." I met her eyes. "Tomorrow you find out what right really looks like." Jules guided me off the porch and toward her car. As we walked, she whispered, "You sure you want them at closing?" I stared ahead, watching my parents' shadows stretch across the yard like long, ugly fingers. "I want them there," I said. "I want them seated. I want them confident." Jules paused. "Mia, what are you planning?" I opened my phone and looked at the title office message again. "Closing funds clear tomorrow morning." I felt that stillness return inside me, cold, focused. "I'm planning," I said quietly, "to let them think they finally got me." Jules held my gaze for a beat, then nodded once. "Okay, then we do it clean." She made one call, a locksmith, cash tonight, then she made another call. The title office, confirm time, confirm witnesses. And when she pulled away from the curb with me in the passenger seat, I looked back and saw my parents still on my porch, crowbars in hand, acting like they were the ones in control. They had no idea that tomorrow morning they weren't coming to collect, they were coming to lose. By 9 a.m., the air was cold and sharp, the kind that makes your lungs sting a little. I pulled into the title office parking lot and sat there with both hands on the wheel, staring straight ahead like I was about to walk into a fight. Jules parked beside me. She didn't smile. She just nodded once, calm and solid. "You good?" she asked. "I'm steady," I said, even though my stomach was doing flips. Evan's truck rolled in right after. His brother hopped out first, big dude, thick arms, face like he'd seen enough drama for one lifetime. A skinny guy with a camera bag got out too, already scanning the lot like he was hunting angles. Evan leaned toward me. "I'm here like I said, let's finish this." "Thank you," I told him. We walked in together. The lobby smelled like coffee and printer paper. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead. My shoes squeaked on the tile and every squeak felt loud. A woman at the front desk looked up. "Mia Carter, that's me," I said. She smiled politely. "Conference room, be there waiting." My parents' voices were already bleeding through the hallway, loud and irritated like the building belonged to them. "I don't care what time it is," my dad barked. "We're not leaving until she signs." My mom's voice came next, sweet but sharp. "She's been difficult since she was little, always wants to be independent." Jules's jaw tightened. "Here we go." We stepped into conference room B. My parents were seated at the table like they were on a jury. My dad had his arms crossed, crowbar gone, but the same attitude still in his bones. My mom was holding a little cup of water like she was the victim in the room, and my sister Kendra sat beside them, bouncing her knee fast, nails perfect, eyes hungry. When she saw me, she smirked. "There she is." My dad pointed at the chair across from him. "Sit, we're done playing." I didn't sit. I stood by the door with Jules on one side, Evan and his brother on the other. The camera guy stayed quiet, just set a small camera on a shelf facing the table. Not dramatic, just there. My mom's eyes flicked to it. "Why are we being recorded?" Evan spoke before I could. "Because y'all came to my house yesterday with crowbars and I'm not dumb." Kendra blinked. "Your house?" Evan leaned forward, voice flat. "Yeah, mine, as soon as this finishes." My mom let out a little laugh, fake and high. "Oh, sweetheart, no, this is our daughter's house." Jules slid a folder onto the table, slow and clean. "It was Mia's house." My dad's eyes narrowed. "What's that?" Jules didn't answer him. She looked at the title officer, a tired-looking man with glasses who'd been watching like he wished he was anywhere else. "Mr. Patel," Jules said, "can you confirm the status?" Mr. Patel cleared his throat. "The deed transfer documents were signed earlier this week. Today is final review and funds clearance scheduling." My dad slapped the table. "What the hell does that mean in English?" Mr. Patel kept his voice calm. "It means the sale is already in motion. Mia has already signed." Kendra's knee stopped bouncing. My mom's face tightened. "She signed what?" I finally spoke and my voice came out steady like I'd practiced it. "I sold the house." 3 days ago?" Silence hit the room so hard it felt like pressure in my ears. Then Kendra shot up in her chair. "No, you didn't." "Yes," I said, "I did." My dad leaned forward, eyes wild. "You can't do that without telling us." I stared right at him. "Watch me." My mom's lips trembled like she was trying to hold her nice mask in place. "Mia, honey, why would you do that?" I let out a slow breath. "Because you don't get to disown me and then show up like I'm your emergency ATM. Kendra's voice turned nasty. "So you're just gonna let me drown?" I looked at her, really looked at her. "You've been drowning other people for years." My dad stood up so fast his chair scraped. "You owe your sister." I didn't flinch. "I owe myself." Mr. Patel slid a paper forward. "This is the settlement statement. It shows what goes where." My mom grabbed it like it was proof I was lying. Her eyes ran down the numbers fast, then her face changed. Because the line that mattered, the one she wanted, wasn't there. No gift to sister, no family payout. No magic bucket of money with their names on it, just fees, balances, and the clean truth they had no control here. My dad snatched the paper from her and read it. His nostrils flared. This is all," he snapped. I tilted my head. "You thought you could price tag my life?" Kendra's eyes got shiny, not with tears, with rage. "So what, you're just gonna disappear?" Jules stepped closer to the table. "Actually, yes. Mia's moving today." My mom's mouth opened like she was going to cry, then she caught herself and went cold. "After everything we did for you," I laughed once, short and ugly. You mean after everything you did to me? My dad's voice dropped low. You think you won? I met his stare. No, I think you finally lost. Kendra pushed her chair back hard. You're gonna regret this. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't even blink. You already made me regret being your family. Evan stood, picked up the keys Mr. Patel had placed on the table and pocketed them. We're done here. As we turned to leave, my mom called out, desperate now, the mask cracking. Mia, where are you going? I paused at the door and looked back one last time. Somewhere you can't reach, I said, then my phone buzzed with a new message. Moving truck is outside. Driver ready? And behind me I heard Kendra whisper to my parents, low and poisonous, she thinks she's safe. I kept walking anyway because she still didn't know what I'd left waiting for her next. That night, I slept on my friend Tasha's couch with my coat still on. The living room smelled like lavender cleaner and microwave popcorn, and the quiet felt wrong, like my body didn't trust peace. My phone kept lighting up on the coffee table. Mom, Dad, Kendra, unknown numbers. I didn't answer, I just watched it buzz, buzz, buzz like a bug trapped in a jar. Tasha sat on the floor with 2 mugs of tea. You're shaking, she said softly. I'm fine, I lied. She didn't push, she just slid 1 mug closer. Drink. My hands were still trembling when I took it. The warmth hit my palms and I finally felt how cold I'd been all day. Then my phone buzzed again. This time it was Jules. Jules, bad news plus good news. Call me when you can. I stepped into Tasha's hallway and called right away. Jules answered on the first ring. Mia, okay, here it is. My stomach tightened. Just say it. Bad news, she said. Evan did a quick look after you left. That living room damage is worse than we thought. The buyer's not walking, but he's not eating the cost either. My throat went dry. So the deal's dead? No, Jules said. Good news, he still wants it, but he's cutting the price to cover repairs, and because we have that video, he's not blaming you, he's blaming the people who actually did it. I closed my eyes. I pictured my dad's crowbar coming down, my mom smiling at the sound. Meaning what? I asked. Jules's voice went low. Meaning Evan's insurance guy already saw the clip and they want names. I let out a slow breath. I can give them names. I know, Jules said. And Mia, Evan's not playing, he's furious. He said, I'm not letting them do this again. My chest felt tight, but not with fear, with something colder. So what happens? I asked. Jules paused. They're gonna get a bill, a real one, not from you, from the damage they did. I stared at the wall, at Tasha's family photos in little frames, a normal life, a safe life, a life where people didn't show up with crowbars. Jules kept talking. Also, your closing funds cleared early, you're getting paid in the morning. A sharp little laugh escaped me. So they smashed the house for money that was already gone. Pretty much, Jules said. And they still don't know where you're moving. I swallowed. They will try to find out. I know, Jules said, so don't post anything, don't tell random people, and please keep your doors locked. I hung up and went back to the couch. Tasha was watching me like she could tell something had shifted. What? She asked. I sat down slowly. They didn't just lose today, I said. They're about to start losing tomorrow. Tasha's eyes widened. What do you mean? I looked at my phone. There were 3 new voicemails. I played the first one. My mom's voice came through, shaky and sweet. Mia, baby, please call me. We can talk. We can fix this. I played the second one. My dad this time, cold hard. You think you're clever? You think you can hide money from your own family? You're making a big mistake. I played the third one. Kendra, her voice was like a knife with lipstick on it. You ruined everything. Mom and Dad are freaking out and I need that money now. If you don't fix this, I swear I'll make you sorry. I stopped the voicemail and stared at the ceiling. It wasn't sadness I felt. It was this weird, clean clarity. They didn't miss me when I was alone. They didn't care when I worked myself tired. They came back only when they smelled money, and when I said no, they tried to break me like I was furniture. So now they could deal with what they broke. The next morning, before the sun was even up, my phone rang again. Unknown number. I answered without thinking, voice rough. Hello, a man's voice, professional. Is this Mia Carter? This is an adjuster working with Evan Price regarding the vandalism at the property. My heart thumped once. Yes, we've reviewed video evidence, he said. We'll need a statement identifying the individuals involved. I stared at the blank wall, feeling my pulse steady out like a drum finding its beat. I can identify them, I said. Thank you, he replied. One more thing, once this claim processes, recovery efforts may be pursued directly against the responsible parties. I hung up and sat there silent. Tasha blinked awake on her recliner. Who was that? I smiled, small and tired. Consequences, I said. Then my phone buzzed with a text from my mom. Please, your father is sick, your sister is crying, call me. We can still do this the easy way. I didn't reply because I knew what easy meant to them. It meant easy for them, and for the first time in my life I let it be hard for them instead. My phone buzzed again, this time from Kendra. Just 4 words, we know where you are. We know where you are. That text just sat there on my screen like a thumb pressed on my throat. Tasha came out of the kitchen in socks, hair messy, eyes half awake. What's wrong? I showed her the phone. She read it, then looked up fast. That's a scare text. Yeah, I said, but my skin still prickled, because even if it was a bluff, it meant Kendra was pushing. And when she pushed, she didn't stop until something cracked. I stood up and checked the window. The street was quiet. No cars creeping, no shadows. My phone buzzed again, Kendra calling. I let it ring. Then I answered on speaker, calm on purpose. What? I said. Kendra laughed like she had me cornered. So you're hiding on somebody's couch now? I stared at the wall, voice flat. You want money, Kendra. Just say it, don't act tough, she snapped. Mom and Dad are furious, you made them look stupid. You did that, I said. You sent them. A beat of silence, then her voice got sharper. You owe me. I almost smiled. She didn't deny it, she just kept stepping over the truth like it wasn't there. I lowered my voice soft like I was finally giving in. Fine. Tasha's head snapped toward me, wide-eyed. I held up a hand to her, stay quiet. Kendra perked up fast. Fine what? I'll help, I said, but not at your level of crazy, not with crowbars, not with screaming. Kendra exhaled like she'd been holding her breath. Okay, so where's the money? Meet me, I said. You alone? She laughed. Yeah, right. Then you get nothing, I said, easy. I'm not handing money to Mom and Dad after what they did. Kendra went quiet again, doing math in her head. Where? She finally asked. I named a place that was busy, bright, and boring, one of those coffee spots by the highway where people came and went nonstop. Not private, not dramatic, just a place where she couldn't pull her usual scary act without looking like a full clown. 30 minutes, I said. Don't bring them. She hung up without saying bye like she was already counting my money. Tasha grabbed my wrist. Mia, don't go. I'm not going alone, I said. I texted Jules, need you, quick meet. Not legal, just witness. Then I texted Evan, you still mad? I might need a favor, public place, cameras already there. Both replied fast. Jules, on my way. Evan, say less, be there. When we pulled up, Kendra was already outside, pacing like she owned the sidewalk. She dressed up, lashes, nails, tight coat, like she thought she was about to win. Her eyes locked on me and she smiled, mean and bright. Look who finally got smart. I sat across from her with my coffee untouched. Jules sat at a nearby table like she was scrolling her phone. Evan stood by the window like he was waiting for an order. Nobody made a scene. That was the point. Kendra leaned forward. So where is it? I slid my phone onto the table, screen down. Before anything, say it clean. Kendra blinked. Say what? Say you sent them, I said. Say you told them to scare me. Kendra rolled her eyes. Oh my God, you're still on that? Yes, I said. Say it. She laughed, annoyed. Fine, yeah, I told them to press you. Because you only move when you're scared. My stomach went cold, but my face stayed calm. And the crowbars? I asked. Kendra shrugged like it was nothing. That was Dad. He gets intense, but it worked, didn't it? You're here. I nodded slowly. So you wanted them to break my place? Kendra smirked. I wanted you to stop acting like you're better than us. There it was, not a mistake, not an accident, her truth, loud and careless. I leaned back and let a little silence stretch out. Kendra tapped her nail on the table. Okay, cool confession, where's the money? I looked her dead in the eye. There is no money for you. Her smile twitched. What? I sold the house, I said. You already know that part, and the money's already gone where it needed to go, away from you. Kendra's face tightened like a knot. You're lying. I slid my phone across the table and flipped its screen up, not paperwork, not numbers. Video, her voice clear as day. Yeah, I told them to press you. Kendra's eyes went wide. She reached for the phone, but Evan's hand landed on it first, flat, calm, heavy. He didn't squeeze, he didn't threaten, he just stopped her. Don't, he said, quiet. Kendra's lips parted and her voice dropped low and nasty. You brought strangers into this? No, I said. You did when you sent them to my door with crowbars. Kendra stood up so fast her chair scraped. You think this scares me? I stood too steady. It doesn't have to scare you. She leaned in close, breath hot with anger. Then what's your little plan, Mia? I looked past her at the window, at my reflection, at how tired my eyes looked, at how calm my shoulders were anyway. My plan, I said softly, is to let Mom and Dad hear you say it. Kendra's face changed for the first time, real panic slipping through the cracks, because she knew exactly what would happen if my parents heard the truth. And right then my phone buzzed with one new text from my mom. "We're outside, don't lie to us again." My mom's text sat on my screen like a threat. "We're outside, don't lie to us again." Kendra's face went pale. She tried to laugh it off, but her eyes kept flicking to the door. "You set me up," she hissed at me low. I didn't raise my voice. "You set yourself up, you just forgot you talk too much." She reached for my phone again, and Evan's hand stopped her again, calm, heavy, no drama. "Don't," he said like he was talking to a kid near a stove. Kendra's jaw clenched. "Move." Evan didn't. The bell above the coffee shop door jingled. My parents walked in like a storm with shoes on. My dad's eyes scanned the room first, hunting. My mom's eyes went straight to me, sharp and wet at the same time, like she could cry and bite in one breath. "There you are," my dad said. People looked up. A barista froze mid-pour. The whole place got quiet in that uncomfortable way. My mom stepped closer, voice shaking. "Mia, why are you doing this to us?" I nodded at the empty chair beside Kendra. "Sit." My dad didn't sit. "Where's the money?" Kendra jumped in too fast. "She doesn't have it. She's lying." "Shut up," my dad snapped at her, then looked back at me. "You told us 9 a.m. You wasted our time. Now you're hiding in a coffee shop like a coward." I leaned forward a little and kept my voice soft. "You want the truth? Fine, but you're gonna hear it all, not just the parts you like." My mom's eyes narrowed. "Don't you dare talk to us like that." I looked at her. "Like what?" "Like you talked to me when you threw my boxes on the lawn." Her face twitched. Jules stayed at her table, quiet, watching. Evan's brother shifted his weight near the door, just standing there like a wall with arms. My dad pointed at Kendra. "She said you'd fold. She said you always fold." Kendra swallowed hard. "Dad," I tapped my phone on the table once. "Before you start blaming me again, listen." My mom's gaze locked onto the phone. "What is that?" "Your favorite thing," I said. "Proof." I hit play. Kendra's voice filled the space, clear and ugly. "Fine, yeah, I told them to press you. Because you only move when you're scared." My mom's face went stiff like she'd been slapped. My dad's mouth opened, then closed. Kendra shot up, knocking her chair back. "That's edited." I didn't even blink. "Keep listening." The audio kept rolling. "I wanted you to stop acting like you're better than us." My dad slowly turned his head toward Kendra. His eyes were flat now, dangerous. "You told us to go to her house," he said, quiet. Kendra's voice cracked. "I told you to talk to her." My mom's hands shook around her cup. Kendra snapped at her, panicked. "Mom, don't start. She's trying to split us up." I leaned back and let the silence sit there, heavy. My dad's voice got low. "We broke into her home because of you." Kendra's eyes flashed. "You broke in because you wanted to." "Don't act like saints now." People were staring. Somebody whispered, "Oh my God." My mom grabbed Kendra's arm. "You said the debt was from school." Kendra yanked her arm away. "It was at first." My dad's face went darker. "At first?" Kendra's chest rose and fell fast. She looked around like a trapped animal. Then she did what she always did. She went mean. "Fine," she snapped. "Yes, I used credit, I used cards, I used whatever worked. Because you told me I deserve nice things." My mom's eyes filled, but not with soft tears, angry ones. "We did not tell you to steal." Kendra laughed, sharp. "You didn't tell me to steal. You literally handed me Dad's info when I said I couldn't get approved." My dad went still. "So that's why," he said, voice empty. "That's why the bank calls started." My mom covered her mouth like she might throw up. And Kendra realized what she just said. Her eyes widened, her hands shook. "I didn't mean," she started. I leaned in, quiet as ice. "You meant it, you just didn't mean to say it out loud." My dad stared at Kendra like he'd never seen her before. "You put your mess on us." Kendra looked at my mom, pleading, "Mom, please." My mom's face hardened like something in her finally snapped clean in half. "Don't please me." Kendra's eyes darted back to me, hate blazing. "You happy now?" I held her gaze. "No, I'm done." My dad turned to me, voice rough. "Mia, we didn't know." I stood up and slid one last thing across the table. My doorbell video paused on my dad's boot at my gate. "You didn't know," I said, "but you still swung first." My mom's voice broke. Baby, I raised a hand, not angry, finished. Don't call me that. My parents stood there, shaking, staring at the screen like it was a mirror they couldn't look away from. Kendra backed up, eyes wild, looking for an exit, looking for someone to save her. No one moved, not my mom, not my dad, not me. I picked up my coat, nodded once at Jules and Evan, and walked out without looking back. Because the cruelest thing I ever did to them wasn't yelling or fighting or begging. It was leaving them with the monster they made.